So let's start there. Raw was set up, as far as the bloodline goes, as a very, very great story, right? At the end of the night, we got the promo with Cody. Beginning of the night, they did a lot of foreshadowing with Sammy and Jay with their interaction. Sammy and Kevin Owens and the Usos, right? So they did that. Then they had the office visit with Jay, and this reminded me of when they were feuding. So when Jay got ready to get up, Roman grabbed him and was like, "I love you." I love you.
And notice Jay didn't say it back. And
Right.
Jay looked at him like, yeah, right. So that's what I got from that. And then when Jay leaves the office, then you see Heyman come up and says, Tribal Chief, did you get the answers that you were looking for? And Roman said, yeah, I did. So there's something going on here. Something's not right. And then when they, later on, Heyman says, okay, hey, you guys, the food is here. Go hang out with the Jet. Not you, Solo. Tribal Chief wants to talk to you. So,
right.
It's a lot going on here. Very, very interesting. I'm more interested in the tag match and Roman and Cody than anything else on those shows for WrestleMania. Both nights. I just want to see what happens on with those two angles there. There's nothing else on those cards that to me is worth a damn. But that's my opinion. Yeah, because I'm not into it. Because I'm not into it like y'all. Y'all can go. Y'all want to go watch every match on the card and all that bullshit. No, I'm no, not at all. I like specifically what I like to watch. WWE knows this. Okay, they know that people may not want to see all the rest of this shit that we got going on our shows. So what do? We
cater to the marks.
We cater to what people want to see. So if people want to just specifically see the bloodline, well, we'll put all the they made a fucking highlight reel for Raw last night. I don't even have to watch Raw. They made a highlight reel of just all the bloodline highlights. That's all I need to see. I don't need to see all the rest of the shit together. I don't give a damn about Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. I don't care about it. I'm sorry, can't get with a guy that watched the dude commit suicide and fucking filmed it. Can't get with it. Sorry, not gonna happen.
I get that. He's a shitty human being. He's a very shitty human being. However,
ain't no however.
However, I am very interested in this angle right now.
It's fucking mid card, fucking.
I can't stand Logan Paul.
Mid card, nothing going fucking angle. Seth Rollins deserves better. Period.
Well, be that as it may, he has Logan Paul, and Logan Paul's working the shit out of it. Logan Paul knows people hate him. He knows this, and he's using that shit to his advantage. Now, as much as I don't like Logan Paul,
is it really though? But here's the thing, though, real quick. Is that really the kind of hate that you want? There's a difference between people hating you as a heel and then hating you.
Yeah, people hate him.
People hate him, not hate him as he's a heel. No, they hate him. So that's not the kind of heat you want.
Okay, so let's get this. Let's get to this one real quick. Let me knock this one out real quick. The guy was young. He was stupid as fuck, right? How long do we punish that guy for being young and fucking dumb? How long? Because at one time, Frank D was young and fucking dumb, but I'm pretty sure he probably don't care if people hate him. He's living his life. Now, same for Black Mac. I was young and fucking dumb, right? How long should people hate me because I was young and stupid? The guy wasn't even in his 30s yet. Of course, people that's 22 ain't shit. We know this. If you're 22 years old, the chances of you not being shit is very, very high. How long do we hate somebody for being young and stupid? Floor is yours.
I didn't say I hate the motherfucker. I
No,
said
I'm
I have
just
no.
saying.
I
Not
said
you
I have
per
no
se.
interest.
Not you per se.
I have no interest in anything he does. That's just my thing. Is he a good athlete? Absolutely. But do I give a shit about anything he's doing? No, I don't. I don't. Seth
Okay,
Rollins, in my
that's
opinion,
fair.
Seth Rollins deserves better. Okay, that's
That's fair.
that's my opinion.
All right.
That's how I look at that. You know what I'm saying? And the deal too. You know, at first I was kind of digging the Charlotte and Rhea Ripley feud, where they were going with that. That's kind of lost its luster a little bit. I mean, everything right now, and it's you can tell. Okay, everything right now has taken a backseat to the bloodline.
This is true.
It's
This is
just
very true.
WrestleMania is built on the bloodline. No, I don't give a damn what people. No one gives a shit about anything else happening on that fucking show, other than what's gonna happen. I read the comments. I see the shit that people are saying. No one's talking about Bianca and Asuka. No one's talking about Rhea and fucking Charlotte, other than Rhea Ripley, you know, doing some fucking pin on Zelina Vega. No one gives a shit. No one's talking about it.
Okay. Well, let's get into the show,
Where's
and
the
then
buzz? Where? Show me
I don't know.
where's the
Let's
fucking
get into
buzz?
the show, and then we'll get there. You ready? Let's
Go
go.
ahead.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks here on DFPN. Let's get right into the show. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to Plugs Earbuds. Shout out to Fiverr. Join the DFPN Patreon. If you're listening to this show, then you are not on the Patreon. So www.patreon.com/ThatFeelingPodcast. Join it for as little as $3. You can get in on all the live action. Same goes for the Bandcamp. $3 gets you their whole library, the whole Dat Feeling catalog, datfeeling.bandcamp.com. New merch coming soon. So go to the Teespring, search for Dat Feeling Podcast. If you're in the Patreon, shout out to Brian McCoy, our newest $15 participant. Shout out to him. Thank you, brother, for the support. Everybody else, go to teespring.com, search for Dat Feeling Podcast, get you some swag, or you can join the Dat Feeling Patreon. Every 3 months, you get free swag. So, that being said, before we started the show, we were talking about some Mania Madness. Now, we already got comments up, and we got a comment. Who would you want to see versus Seth Rollins? Because you have no interest in Logan Paul, who would you want to see against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? Floor is yours, Frank D.
I would have loved to have seen Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
Why?
Because they had a feud years ago when Seth cashed in the Money in the Bank on Roman and Brock at WrestleMania. So I think now, because their characters have evolved into what they are now, it would have been a good matchup. I mean, I think Brock would have wanted to have fun with this one. So I think that match would have sold. I think it would have been a bigger deal. But that's my opinion, because Brock was given the choice of working with Bray Wyatt or Omos. He chose Omos.
He chose Omos.
You know what I'm saying? So I would have seen, if you put on WrestleMania, a marquee WrestleMania match, Then you got Brock versus Seth Rollins. Night 1, night 2, whatever. That would have been a good match because you already know they're going to go out there and deliver. And Brock isn't just going to do Suplex City. He's going to want to do some different shit because I think he's more open to it now than he was, say, years ago when he worked with Ambrose.
Yeah.
So.
Now you said you don't have a lot of interest in the pay-per-view itself.
Not really.
I was there. All
right.
But on paper, this card looks crazy on paper. The matches you got. So it's so many matches that in 2 nights it's gonna be hard. Like I'm even in my brain, I'm having like, where do you put most of these matches? Because you have both women's titles matches, Bianca and Asuka, Charlotte and Rhea, right? You have the Universal Championship, or the Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship on the line. That's obviously going to be your main event for night 2. You have the tags, Undisputed tags, that you got to figure out where you want to put that. Do you want to have that in night 1 and open for night 2? Like, what do you do with that? You also have a Hell in a Cell match with Edge and Finn Balor, which, if you're really smart about it, you kind of want that match to go on first, clean up the mess, and go on about the rest of the night. But where do you put that match? If it's night 1, it's a crowded-ass night 1. Night 2, you kind of jack up the flow because somebody's going to have to follow that, right? And then you got Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, of course. You got to figure out where you want to put all these matches to make it go fast. Brock, Omos. Like, there's a lot happening here. Probably get Rey Mysterio and Dom, and just figuring out where you want to put this piece to make everything have a great balance in both shows is going to be kind of hard.
You know, I would honestly put, so obviously we know that night 1, the main event's going to be Rhea versus Charlotte.
Right.
And I saw a lot of people out there talking about, well, the tag team match with Owens and Zayn versus the Usos should have made a main event. No, it shouldn't have. Because, number 1, Rhea Ripley won the Women's Royal Rumble, so she deserves the main event. That's just bottom line. So have her go out there and do it night 1 versus Charlotte. Now, where do you put the Hell in a Cell match? You put the Hell in a Cell match on night 1 of WrestleMania. You do that, and then also you put the Logan Paul Seth Rollins match on night 1 as well.
That's a lot happening, though.
Because if you don't do it that way, you got no juice for night 1, because you're gonna put the Usos versus KO and Zayn. That shit's gonna go on night 2. Because whatever is going to happen involving the bloodline, it's going to happen on night 2.
You want it all in one night, is what
Absolutely.
you're saying.
Because see, you can have Dominic versus Ray on night 1, and they can play into the fact that just last night Rey Mysterio got inducted into the Hall of Fame,
right?
And then that plays. So you can have that. You can have drama on Saturday and then drama on Sunday. Whatever is going to go down is going to go down. So that's how I would do it. I would definitely book the bloodline angles to that story is going to be told Sunday. All the rest of the shit can be told on Saturday. Now you take Bianca and you take Asuka, put them on night 2.
I would agree with that, but all right. Charlotte Rhea night 1. Do you have Bianca and Asuka start night 2?
Yes, because you already know that they're ending
you start with a championship, you win.
Exactly. Right.
You leave with a championship.
Because they're not building this as a double main event. If they were building it as a double main event on night 2, then you can then look, this is what I was telling you before we started the show. Everything on WrestleMania is basically pointless at this time. The bloodline story is overshadowing everything else. That's just what's going on here. Nothing is getting properly billed the way it should be. Because
look at that comment. Everything's getting buried by Roman and Cody on night 2. That's true.
That's true. Exactly. Whatever. That's the selling point. Roman and the Usos. That's the selling point because everybody wants to know and wants to see what is Jay gonna do. Is Jay gonna turn on Roman? That's the selling point. Basically telling you, hey, listen, you can watch night 1 of WrestleMania and happen on night 2. That's what's gonna go down. So, and it's just I just personally, because of what they're doing right now, when you've taken Roman Reigns and you've taken him from where he was, from the big dog to the tribal chief, and this dude is just like you say, is a mega star. They build him into this unstoppable force. Okay, you don't job the unstoppable force to the fucking AEW guy. I'm sorry, you don't do it. And it's like,
you don't think they're positioning Cody Rhodes to be the guy? You don't think that? You don't think they're positioning Cody to be the guy?
They can position Cody Rhodes to be the guy all they want to. He will never be the guy, in my opinion. You can position somebody all you want.
That's fair.
That's just fair. That's my opinion. Okay,
that's
my
fair.
opinion. It was like an it's like an answer. Everybody's got one, right? That's just my opinion. I don't see him in that light. Maybe he'll do something down the line and I'll change my mind. But I've been watching Cody for the last couple of years, and he didn't do shit in AEW, and he really didn't do shit in WWE other than go out there. You'll have a couple matches with Seth Rollins, tore his pec. He was on the shelf, came back number fucking 30 and won the Rumble. Okay, you ain't done nothing, bro. And then every promo that come out your mouth is about your father. And he's up there talking this shit last night, talking about, if I hear about my father one more time, motherfucker, you're the one fucking talking about him. What are you talking about?
True.
The whole story is about the American dream, baby.
No, I'm not gonna hold you. I thought Roman cooked him last night.
Roman buried his ass because everything Roman said.
Roman hit that man
was truth.
Smack dab in the motherfucking head with truth.
And this right here goes to everybody out there that says, well, why wouldn't he be the guy? Roman fucking just said it last night, dude. You went over and tried this. You started a whole other company over there and couldn't get over in that company. So what does that tell you? They were turning on you at the end, bro. They wanted you to turn heel because that's how bad it was. Because people saw through your shit. That's why. It was Cody Rhodes was every time he come out there, he just came off as just something about him just was disingenuous with the whole damn thing. Like maybe he didn't want to be there all alone to begin with. Maybe he got a taste of it and just like, you know what? I want to get the hell out of here. Okay, so he dipped, he bounced. I think that could be what happened as well. So you fast forward now to where we're at, and we're going into Mania, and in my opinion, he ain't done shit to get a world title match. All right, so I'm looking past him, and it's like, okay, who's Roman's next contender? Who's somebody that Roman hasn't really had a feud with that he can go out there and have some good matches with?
That list is short though.
It's Randy Orton. So,
you think Randy Orton's going to come back after Mania?
I think Randy Orton is coming back after Mania because I've read the other day, and PW Insider reported that there's been internal discussions lately about Randy Orton, and they had not been talking about him up until
at all.
You know, some people out there say, "Oh, well, wouldn't that be great to have Cody versus Randy Orton?" I don't want to see that shit. What are we doing? The battle of fucking the legacy or some shit? I don't want to see that.
Why you hating on Cody, man?
That. It's not about hating on Cody. I'm just saying I don't want to see it. Matter of fact, I guarantee you, after the bloodline
that's kind of strong, bro. Like,
after the bloodline situation is over and done with, I probably won't even be watching the shit. I'm just being honest.
I think it'll still be good. There's still directions you can go with the bloodline. There's still directions you can go.
Listen, it's nothing personal against Cody Rhodes. I don't know Cody Rhodes. It's nothing personal against him. It's just I don't see him as this guy, as the guy. I don't see it. That's
You
just
know
me.
what, man? You know what? The last time we had this conversation, right? And I told you, I said, I'm going to say it again. The last time we had this conversation was about Dominic Mysterio. I said, just keep watching. Give him a chance. He's going to win you over.
Bro, I have been
Okay.
watching
All right.
Cody.
All right.
You don't understand. I've been
Okay.
watching Cody. First time I ever saw Cody was when he was out there when they inducted his father into the Hall of Fame. That's the first time I ever saw Cody Rhodes. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Now, watching him perform, he was with Hardcore Holly. All right. Then he
Mhm.
joined up with Ted DiBiase Jr. Then they was with Randy Orton. They were Legacy. Then he became Dashing Cody Rhodes. And then you
I know the history.
remember when Rey Mysterio hit him in the face and he had the mask on and all that
Mhm.
shit? That was good shit. I enjoyed it. Okay.
Yes.
Now, fast forward. Okay. It's just like with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Were you really that over, or was it the Bullet Club that was over? Okay.
Hmm.
Same situation.
You have a point there. But what I'm saying is, the machine is behind this man. All right. Once the machine
Yeah, I
is
know.
behind you, and it is
Yeah.
firmly behind Cody Rhodes,
Yeah.
they will find a way for you to like Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I know. It's a horrible time in WWE. That's where we're at. You're right. My bad.
But what I'm saying is give it a shot, man. You never know. You never know.
I mean, they're just, I honestly, I can see what they're doing. I see it. He's out there giving the weight belts away, just like, like, dude, I'm like,
Hearts and minds,
you're
motherfucker.
you're
This is
you're
what he's
you're
doing.
you're trying to be Bret Hart with the glasses. You, you,
Hearts
you're trying to be Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan and
and
all
minds.
these different people all in one. Whatever. You know what? Whatever.
We put
Hey,
smiles
hey.
on faces.
If that's the route they want to go, then that's where I'm pretty
Man,
sure
all
he'll
in the
be.
ring calling kids the little nightmares, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they gonna find a way
Yeah, I
for
know.
you to like Cody Rhodes.
The little nightmares. Like, what the fuck is that? Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
I'm trying to think.
You.
I'm trying to think. What was better? The little nightmares, the Hulkamaniacs, or the creatures of the night? Huh. Yeah. Yeah. The little nightmares. I can see it now. The little nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The little fucking nightmares.
Yeah. The little nightmares. That's not a very good thing. That's not very good. It's like, what you gonna do, brother, when a nightmare comes running wild on you? Get the fuck out of here. Lame. That shit is fucking whack, bro.
Like, I want to know who approved that shit, because that shit is wild.
That shit is stupid. The little nightmares.
That shit is wild. Are you a nightmare? Yes. Are you?
What the hell does that mean? I mean, even Austin Theory versus John Cena doesn't even have any steam to it.
Ain't that wild?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Nothing. No one gives a shit about nothing except what's going on with the bloodline. That's it. I'm telling you, no one gives a shit.
But that's because there's storytelling involved. Like, this shit is Emmy-worthy storytelling. Is what this is. And then you have the rest of the shit. Like, and to be fair to everybody else, to be fair to the rest of the fucking industry, there's no other story like Roman Reigns and the Bloodline out anywhere else. There's no other story.
But hold on. Hold your horses for a second here, because here's the deal. You're right. There's no other story like that in wrestling right now. But here's the thing. A few months ago, I remember saying, man, this bloodline shit is getting boring. You know why? Because it was boring. But when they added Sami Zayn to the equation, that's when it got
That's when it popped.
when
Yep.
it popped up. Because
Yeah.
that shit was getting boring. They weren't doing
Yeah.
nothing. That's just what it was. It was just same old, same old. But when they added the dynamic of Sami Zayn in there, that's when they turned the corner. And that's what it is. I mean, I look at the bloodline, the storytelling of the bloodline, and I have to. I'm going to say something that's going to shock you,
Oh,
but
okay.
I will say this: the bloodline storytelling, you know, is better than the NWO, simply because there's layers to it. See, the NWO, in my opinion, the NWO was only hot after Hogan initially turned. So it was hot from the point he turned until they blew it at Starrcade '97. That was it. The NWO after that was a wash because there was no conclusion to the story. 1998
I
1998
get
was
that.
a shitty year for the NWO, in my opinion. That's when they did the Wolfpack. You went back to Savage and Hogan having dissension. It was a stale retread. Hogan got
Hmm.
stale in '98. The whole NWO angle got stale. That's why the WWE started kicking their ass over there. Is
Hmm.
because the NWO story was stale. They had nothing, and that's kind of where the bloodline was at one point. The story had gotten stale. You had to add a fresh ingredient to the story, and that fresh ingredient was Sami Zayn. Okay, that's kind of where we're at with the situation right now.
Right.
It's gonna peak. It's good right now, and but it's gonna peak. You're gonna have some dissension there, and hopefully they follow up with it because obviously, whatever they do with Jay, I'm gonna put it like this: people say the machine is behind Cody. You say the machine is behind Cody. Cody's gonna be that guy. No, he ain't gonna be the guy. The fucking guy is gonna be Jay Uso once he turns. That's gonna be the dude. That's gonna be the guy. That's gonna be your next babyface. It's gonna be Jay Uso
I
because
don't. I don't
because
think
the
so.
fans the fans want to cheer Jay. The whole bloodline storyline is about Jay. From the moment he started and the bloodline reluctantly acknowledging Roman to now, it's going to be about Jay. I guarantee you by the SummerSlam comes up, you're going to see Jay versus Roman Reigns. Watch.
Yeah, that could be it. You could be right about that. And I can see a scenario where the fans will that shit on. I could actually see that happening, honestly.
And it could be at some point in time, it could be where, you know, Roman turns babyface at some point. Because
Yeah.
you have to, in order to be a great babyface, you first have to be a great villain.
Hmm.
That's why The Rock got over the way he did, because The Rock started off as this guy, okay, that was being pushed down people's throats. No one cared about Rocky Maivia. Then he joined the Nation, and then he went off on his own. He
Right.
became The Rock.
Right.
When that happened, and then he was out there as a heel, they hated him. Rocky sucks. And then they started to like him. They started to get behind him. And when they started to
Hmm.
get behind him and like him, and you thought, and he turned babyface for a couple weeks and then turned right back heel again, that was a formation right there because it was something organic. The people started to cheer him. But Rocky says, hold up a second. Screw you.
Fuck y'all.
Exactly. So
Y'all don't get to
Roman
cheer me.
Roman had that run. Roman had the run as a babyface for a couple years. People felt that he was getting pushed down our throats. No one accepted him. Now he's a big bad heel
Mm-hmm.
that
I don't think he should go
people
back.
people cheer. Okay, well, he's gonna go back one of these days
I
because
don't think he should. I don't think he should ever go.
Roman, he ain't gonna be a heel forever, dude. You gotta understand the way the economics works. All right, it's all about merchandise sales.
True,
And
but he's
heels,
selling a shit ton as a heel.
he ain't selling nothing. It's the bloodline.
Oh
Selling.
yeah, that's true.
Okay,
That's true. That's true.
It's bloodline.
That's
So
true.
that's one of the reasons why Stone Cold, when Stone Cold turned in 01, he says, I wish I would have called an audible. You know why? Because he was used to getting those big ass royalty checks for his merchandise. People weren't buying the shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. So I do, at some point, Roman will turn babyface at some point down the line. Ain't gonna be in the foreseeable future, but somewhere down the line he will turn babyface again. When this whole thing plays out, and then you'll see, like Cody Rhodes says, then he'll become Paul Heyman will become an advocate again. Yeah, an advocate for Cody Rhodes when Rhodes turns heel.
I didn't catch. I caught part of that, but I didn't catch the full piece of that.
Yeah. So I mean,
why would Heyman be an advocate for?
Why wouldn't he?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Because normally Heyman's an advocate for people who aren't good on the stick. But obviously, it's worked wonders for Roman Reigns.
Well, Roman is hit and miss with promos.
More hit than not these days.
I don't know about that. He's hit or miss. Sometimes he'll deliver some good shit. Sometimes he won't. So I think he's like 50-50.
Really? I thought he was good. Excuse me. I thought he's been good throughout this whole run, especially with Cody.
I think he's 50-50.
Okay. Fair.
And then Cody
fair enough.
Cody with that damn lisp.
So let's address this comment real quick.
What's up?
Max says Cody ain't it. His gimmick ain't it. He knows he's a casual fan, but this American Nightmare ain't winning me over. Like, why is he a nightmare? So before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, he's a nightmare, the American Nightmare, because his dad was the American Dream. And
yeah, but Dustin was the original American Nightmare.
Right, correct.
So you ain't really original with that.
He's not really original with that.
Nope.
But and this is a common thing that I'm saying. The comment that Mac put up, right? So the casual fan isn't being won over by a Cody Rhodes. And that may be a problem. That may be a huge problem. Because it's not winning over the casual fan. Like, if a normal person like me, I'm willing to give it a chance, right? Give it a chance. You know the system's going to work for him because he's tagged as the guy in the system. But a casual fan won't see that, and they're going based off surface level, right? What is he bringing me on a weekly basis? Do I like it? Do I not like it?
And that's kind of where I'm at, really. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've been watching wrestling since I was 7-8 years old, but at this stage of my life, I consider myself to be a casual. Mm-hmm. I don't watch the shit every week. I watch clips on YouTube. Only thing I watch is I watch the old stuff from back in the day. That's my thing. That's what I like to do. I like to watch the territories or the WCW. That's my thing. So I'm a casual fan, and you can try to sweeten this shit up all you want to with the Thunderdome. All right, and that's what they do. That shit is so. I mean, just you can hear that shit running, dude. Piping in shit, all right? Because I mean, piping in for what? If dude's getting a reaction, why are you piping shit in? But
Mm-hmm.
like Mac is saying here, they're not growing the casual base. No one cares. You're just the guy that you're not going to mention the name, the letters of the company you used to work for, but you're just that guy from that other company. And guess what? They look at you as a fucking failure for leaving the other company. Like I said, I honestly think that was like the wrong choice of words to use in that promo. It was like you couldn't get over there, so you ran away. You ran here. I mean that was a burial. I mean you, yeah, that was a burial. I wouldn't have even said that because I mean it's like damn, you really couldn't hang down there with them. You couldn't hang with the elite. You couldn't hang with Jericho. You couldn't hang with at the time Inner Circle. All these different cats. You couldn't do it. So you bounced. You dipped.
Yeah.
You tried to get people over like Anthony Ogogo and all these, and it didn't work. You burned your back in a match against Andrade, and for what?
Nothing.
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 You
I
literally
mean
burned your
that
fucking back.
that's why I said Roman cooked him last night.
He did.
Cooked
Yeah,
him.
he did. He sure did. He exposed him is what he did. Nothing he said, you know, nothing he said was out of line. Nothing he said was wrong. It was
All truth, no
all
filler.
truth. All truth. The most truth I've ever seen in this business was said outside with
All
that promo.
truth.
Yeah. Roman is the mega star, like he said. Absolutely the mega star. He is. He is the face of the company. Cody Rhodes is not the face of nothing. All right. Period.
So what would be a good gimmick for Cody?
I don't know the elite.
So go back to that.
I don't know, man.
So we have a comment that says they were all about the throne breaker arc he had over in AEW.
Yeah, he did do that, and then all of a sudden now him and Triple H are best buddies.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I don't know where you go with Cody, man.
I don't know either.
And even if he wins at Mania, even if he wins at Mania, what's his next feud?
I mean, honestly, does the American Nightmare? Does that sound like a top babyface to you? Is that a top tier babyface? The American Nightmare.
I don't know, man. Like I
No,
really don't. I really
it's
don't know.
not. It's not.
No, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no, and I'm not gonna say yes because I know what they can do with people. I know what they can do with people. Hell, they got me fucking out here. I really legitimately like think Logan Paul and Seth Rollins are gonna have the fucking match of the weekend. Like, this is where I am. And I cannot stand Logan Paul. Like, I can't stand that guy. But in my heart of hearts, like, I have to tell myself, as a wrestler, Logan Paul is actually okay. As a wrestler, as a sports entertainer, I am entertained generally by the shit that he does in the ring. Human being wise, I can't stand the guy. But here I am, respecting what he does in the ring. Now, you say that for a person like Logan Paul. For me, I know what they can do with Cody. I know they can turn him around. I know they can.
Yeah, listen, they can if they want to. My whole thing is that I just don't see someone calling themselves the American Nightmare as a top babyface. I don't see it. That's like back in the day saying, "Oh, the top babyface is Hollywood Hogan." No, no. Or your top babyface. Only person that had a name like that was a babyface that got over, and he was really meant to be a heel, but people it was just people just started digging his shit was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what it was. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm getting at real quick when it comes to Cody, and okay, you know what? I'll tell you like this. This is what I think should happen. I think Cody should turn heel.
I think so too.
The reason why he should turn heel is because Cody is a heel. He just don't know it yet. He is a heel. He comes out there with these damn suits on and shit every week. You're a heel. You're corporate Cody. Oh shit! There you go, corporate Cody.
Mm-hmm.
You're corporate. Yeah, you're the corporate champion pretty much. Yeah, you're the corporate champion, and your advocate is Paul Heyman.
Mm.
Why does Paul Heyman? Oh, you were right. You're tribal chief, my ass. You lost everything. That's what I would do. If they do that, if they did that, then Cody would probably win me over because I think he would be. I'd like to see him as a heel. I think that's one of the reasons why I wasn't feeling him in AEW at the end because, dude, you were hell bent on not turning heel. But here's the thing, and this is a story that was said last year, that Cody, when he was negotiating with WWE, Cody wanted to save all the heel stuff that he wanted to do. He wanted to do it at WWE. He didn't want to do it in AEW. So we shall see. But I think if you have him out there and you bring Brandy out there with him, and she's a heat magnet, Cody is not going to be the number one babyface. Cody will be the number one fucking heel there. I can see Cody, especially if the rumor has it right now, if Roman Reigns, whenever Roman drops the belts, okay, it could be WrestleMania, it could be after that. He's going to take an extended leave of absence. He's going to take a break.
I was thinking that.
Okay. That. So who's going to take who's going to take that spot? Who's going to be in that place? You got to turn somebody because you don't have any heels at that point. You got to turn Cody. Cody has to turn heel. Now, if you turn Cody heel, that gives you opportunity for some fresh matches that you haven't seen. You can do Cody versus Edge. Okay? You could do Cody versus Rey Mysterio. There's lots of things you can do.
Is Rey gonna retire?
I don't know. I would think if you went in the Hall of Fame, you probably would. I think maybe his retirement match will be against his son. Probably.
That would be dope as fuck, honestly.
You know? But also, you could do Cody versus Randy Orton, but Randy Orton would be the babyface. Cody's the heel. Cody the heel, managed by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has to be there. It has to work with Paul Heyman. Then you do Cody versus Brock until Roman comes back.
Do you think they do a double swerve at Mania?
No, because Roman, whatever they do at WrestleMania, Roman still has to deal with the Uso problem. So, no, I don't think so. They're not. What I'm talking about happens further down the year. It ain't gonna happen now. You can't turn Cody now because there's no reason for it. Like this, that'd be stupid. Okay, obviously there's a certain segment of the audience that likes Cody Rhodes, and there's a certain segment of the audience that don't like him, which is like people like me. I don't like him because I'm not buying the good guy babyface bullshit. I want to see the guy.
You want to see a heel Cody?
I want to see
that's Cody. Cool. That's cool. I get that.
That's what it is. I want to see. That's why I say I don't have anything personal against the guy. I just don't find the babyface. I have a dream. The American dream is my daddy baby. Every fucking week. I'm tired of hearing about it, dude. That's all I'm saying.
He is tired of hearing about it too. He said it.
Yeah, well, shit.
If I have to hear about my dad one more time, I might legit throw up.
Yeah, well, you keep bringing them up. Shit. The son of a plumber.
All right, man, let's move on. So, you asked a question to me yesterday when coming up with thoughts for the show. You wanted to go over this scenario. So let's do a hypothetical. What happens in the business of professional wrestling if Vince McMahon gives Hall and Nash their raises that they requested instead of letting them march on over to WCW? What happens to the business? That's a big one, actually.
Yeah, I was actually where I got this idea for this hypothetical situation is I was talking to one of my coworkers, and we were just talking about, what if, like, if there's no NWO, what happens to the business? Like, where do we have Stone Cold Steve Austin? Do you have The Rock? Do you have DX? No, I don't think you do. You have Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I don't think Austin's pushing the envelope because Vince is not gonna. There's no reason to push the envelope.
Well, let's back this up. If they stay, does the Montreal screw job actually happen?
I don't think so. I think what will end up happening eventually, though, is that you'll see the Clique become an on-screen stable, an on-screen faction in WWE.
The curtain call never happens.
The curtain call never happens. But you'll see the Clique come on TV. WCW, on the other hand, I don't think Hogan ever turns.
No, Hogan probably retires.
Hogan doesn't turn.
He probably retires.
I don't know. Hogan was still pretty. He was still pretty young at that point.
He was young.
Yeah.
But at that time, the perception was his career was fizzling out. Hulkamania was done at that point.
Yeah.
The fans had grown kind of restless with him. It was kind of like what you saw with Cena before. You know what I mean? Like, you keep getting the same version of Hulk Hogan, win the match. Like, this shit is stale. Like, we don't need it anymore. Right. That's where his career was at that point.
Yeah.
Without a Scott Hall there, you don't get a Hollywood Hogan because Scott Hall is the one that talked him into it. Yeah, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. If they stay in WWE, a lot of stuff doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. It just, would there be the rise of Diamond Dallas Page in WCW? Does that happen?
No. Well, maybe, but not on that level.
Not on that level, but maybe it happens because maybe Macho turns heel.
Maybe. You don't get the version of Sting that.
Yeah, Sting never changes.
Yeah, you don't get that version of Sting
because Scott Hall's not there to talk to him about becoming a Crow character. So that none of this stuff ever happens. The war doesn't heat up between the two sides. And WCW honestly still in business today.
Maybe WCW would still be around, honestly.
Yep.
Because you don't go to war, because there's less of an emphasis. There's really less of an emphasis for WWE to step their product up.
Well, hold on a second. See, that's a misconception. That's not why WCW went out of business. It was all due to the merger.
Well, yeah, you had their planning and the way they ran that business. It ultimately drove it out of business.
Yeah, it was. But here's the thing. It was what ultimately killed them was the Time Warner merger is what killed them.
Right.
Time Warner merger, then the AOL.
Right. But no, I'm not talking about the Monday Night War killed it. Yeah. What I'm saying is there's less perception of competition to even go into a Monday Night War. Well, because you have guys like
technically but here's the thing though. Technically they were at war Because remember, Bischoff was giving away the results on Nitro for Raw.
True.
Okay, and
True.
WWF were doing the Billionaire Ted skits back
True.
in January of '96, way before Hall and Nash ever went down there. But the whole focus of this whole hypothetical is if Hall and Nash don't go down to WCW, there is no NWO. None of this stuff ever happens, and,
Yeah.
and, and
True.
it's just where does the business go? Like where does, because both companies were in the shitter. Both products sucked. Both
Yeah.
products were
That's
stale.
what I'm getting at. That's
You
what
had
I'm getting at.
the Dungeon of Doom on one side,
Right.
okay. Then you had whatever the hell they were doing in the WWF on the other side.
Right.
Both shows were garbage.
Exactly. And that's what I'm getting at. There's less of a need. Like if they don't leave, shit stays the same. And eventually, like you're gonna drive away fans.
Right.
So I believe, yeah, that shit, the guaranteed contracts that wrestlers are now getting don't get there. That whole contract issue, like if Vince pays them, you don't get that now.
Well,
like they changed the business in a lot of ways. That one move changed the business.
Well, the first they weren't the first ones to get guaranteed money.
Yeah, that's true.
But
that level of guaranteed money.
The first person that got that level of guaranteed money was Mark Merrill when Mark Merrill signed with the WWF.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I forget about Mark.
Yeah, he got guaranteed from Vince.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy that Vince gave him a guarantee with all that money, but he wouldn't give the raise to Hall and Nash. And then at the curtain call, he says to Scott, "God damn it, you still work for me. What are them sons of bitches paying you?" There you go.
Yep.
But in saying that, okay, in saying this, so let's just say, hypothetical, Scott Hall does go to WCW, Kevin Nash goes to WCW, but they're not the outsiders. They're just Vinny Vegas is back. The Diamond Stud doesn't have the same impact. No.
Yeah, the way you brought him in does make a difference.
Right.
It does make a difference.
It makes a difference because it makes a difference because they were the outsiders, but the difference in the component that made it all work was Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made it work. Because if they had continued just Hall and Nash on their own, and then say maybe Sting would have joined them or Lex Luger would have joined them, it wouldn't have made the same impact.
It wouldn't have been as big.
It wouldn't have been as big.
Bro, go back to that moment that Hulk Hogan walks out.
Yeah, I just saw it the other day. I always watch that moment.
I'm watching
the crowd. I look at the crowd reaction. Just people, just look at the crowd when
you want to talk about a fucking dagger to the heart.
Right.
That day, to every wrestling fan, was a dagger to the soul of the business.
Yep.
Like if you were a fan, your heart got broke.
Yep. But it was the most justifiable heel turn I've ever seen.
Man, was it ever?
He had legitimate reason to turn.
Yeah.
He said it in promo. 2 years I came out here and slapped hands with the kids and did everything for the charities. I did everything for the kids. And the reception I got, meaning the way you people booed me and said Hogan sucks, you can stick it up your ass.
Yep.
That right there is the most justified, heel turn I saw. Another one that was justified too, that kind of gets overlooked because it's another hypothetical that doesn't happen. The Bret Hart heel turn in the WWF. Bret turned.
Oh yeah. Like I actually like that. I actually like that heel turn.
Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I loved the whole Canada versus the U.S. That was funny
I
shit.
actually like that
Yeah.
because Brett was an asshole.
Yeah. What did he
Brett
say?
was a whole asshole.
He said America is shaped like one big toilet bowl. Is what he said. One big giant toilet. Yeah, that was just that was some good shit.
Yeah,
That was good shit.
Brett's heel turn was it's up there. It's up there. Now it didn't really hurt because you could kind of see it coming because he kept getting frustrated with shit.
Right.
It was visible. And like when he actually turned, it was like, finally, yes. Hogan's, you just didn't see that shit coming at all.
Right.
That day pigs flew that day. Because you could never tell anybody in that time period that Hulk Hogan would be the bad guy.
Well, and you know why? Because Hogan hadn't even been on WWE TV for months.
Right.
He had been on TV. I don't think he had been on TV since like April or something like that.
Right.
He had been gone. But he had been watching the show.
Yeah.
Seeing what was going down. So, yeah, that's just one of those things we do here on No Gimmicks. We do hypothetical, baby. Go out there and see, how things would have been in public.
If you will.
If you will.
All right. Moving on. The Mandalorian. How excited are you for this season?
Shit, dude. It's not doing it for me.
Not doing it. Not doing it for you.
Not doing it for me.
Not doing it for you.
Nope. I look at where we were with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and shit. You had the Tales of a Jedi. Then you had the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think the love affair for Baby Yoda has kind of
faded.
It's kind of faded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
faded.
They stayed away too long. They stayed away too long. We were just talking about this every day. Like, when's the last time we saw the Mandalorian show? It was actually like when we were still in Cali. That's how long it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just, I'm just waiting for Ahsoka.
I think that's where I am too.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like the buzz is gone.
Yeah, it's completely just it's just not there.
Yeah, the buzz is gone. It sucks, but I've watched the first episode and I haven't been back. And I guess I need to binge it. So I'm just gonna let it play out. But
yeah.
Other than that, the first episode was okay. It was okay. But it hit me like the fanfare isn't there anymore. Like there was a lot of shit. There was a lot of shit that happened with that show too.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit that happened with it, and I think a lot of it too. I think the Gina Carano situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that hurt. That hurt the show.
It did.
Big time. I think they're paying for it now. It's just I don't know. It's just it's a very it's I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, Grogu was cool. It's a cool character, but unless you're gonna show me how Grogu survived Order 66, I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you.
And I don't think they're gonna do that because I don't think he was even involved in it.
He was there.
Honestly. Was he?
Yeah, he was there.
The way they're positioning him on this show leads me to believe he wasn't.
He was there.
So
Ahsoka when she read his mind or whatever, she said he was there. His mind goes she said
I gotta go back and watch that again.
Yeah, it was in like whatever the season 2, I think that's where Ahsoka showed up. She talks about how he was at the Jedi Temple, but then everything goes his memories goes dark. like he's
Mm.
pushing something out. So he was there. He was there when all
Okay.
that shit was going down.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that. I don't
Yeah.
remember that, but yeah, I gotta go back and watch it. But yeah, yeah, good show. No fanfare. It's weird. It is weird.
It's one of many Disney flops.
Yeah, yeah. Are we over Disney? Is that what it is? Is the public over Disney as a whole?
I
Are they
think
getting too much out of it?
I think Disney's hurt themselves over the past couple of years with some of the decisions they've made, some of the questionable stuff that they've done. As you know, Gina Carano got fired because Gina Carano had an opinion, and she was fired because of her opinion. So I think that honestly, I think that hurt the brand.
Could be, could be.
But hey, listen, maybe it'll pick up. You know, maybe it was kind of slow. They haven't really been marketing that show very well.
They haven't. They haven't put too much
Yeah,
out for.
yeah. And another thing too, I'll say this too. You know, I think a lot of it also is that I think people are honestly waiting until it wraps up so they can binge watch it.
That's where I am. That's where
Okay.
I am.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna. I hate watching something and then have to wait a week to see it,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
continuation of it.
Just give me the whole shit now. That's where I'm.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Just
where I'm.
drop
That's
all
where I am now.
episodes. Yeah. So
Yeah, give me
that's
all.
kind of
Give me
where
the
I'm at.
whole season
Right.
and let me watch it.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully it like gets reviews and stuff because you're not getting anything out of this show right now, and it's weird because it's like on episode 6 already.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But yeah, to the group and our last piece of business. All right, so we got the bracket. We're gonna break it down. We went through the group, and I told everybody in the group that we're gonna move on to the next round. So let's bring the screen up. Let's bring up the gimmick screen. And then we'll get into where we are. So if you can see that real quick. All right, so we are in the third round right now. And here's where we are. Hulk Hogan beat Dusty Rhodes. Andre the Giant was thrashed by The Undertaker. Bit of controversy here. Bruno Sammartino was beaten by Eddie Guerrero. A lot of people didn't like this one, but when you vote, man, some people are voting with age, and there aren't a lot of older people so that remember Bruno Sammartino and what he was to the business. So Eddie Guerrero took this one. The Rock beat Sting. Over on this right side, Ric Flair beat Kurt Angle. Macho Man beat Shawn Michaels. Stone Cold Steve Austin beat Bret Hart. John Cena beat Scott Hall, which I wasn't too happy about that one. I wanted Scott Hall to move on, but it is what it is. So in the third round, this one looks kind of like it's gonna. The only easy one I see out of this one is maybe The Rock and Eddie Guerrero. But this is the meat and potatoes. This is going to be No Gimmicks first Mount Rushmore. So very, very tough bracket as we get into this third round. What you seeing out of it?
It's going to be tough. I'm really curious to see how people are going to vote.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, you got Hogan, Taker. You got Eddie, Rock. You got Flair, Macho, Austin, Cena. This is interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and it's crazy because, you know, Hogan's obviously wrestled Taker.
Mm-hmm.
Flair obviously wrestled Mach.
Yep.
Eddie wrestled The Rock, but we never got to see John Cena versus Steve Austin.
That's a dream match right there.
That's a WrestleMania dream match.
That's a dream match.
Yeah. Not that shit that's on Dynamite that this is a dream match, but yeah. I can tell you. I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now. Hogan's gonna take that. Hogan's gonna take over Undertaker.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I am not so sure. I've seen the fanfare of the group when it comes to the Undertaker.
Yeah.
I've seen that fanfare. I'm not so sure Hogan has this one in the bag. This one's gonna be close.
Yeah,
the only one where I'm like, this one may not be close, and it's Eddie Guerrero versus The Rock. If that one is close, I will be surprised.
And I don't get that. I just don't understand that. I mean, shit, it's The Rock.
Yeah. It's The Rock and it's Eddie Guerrero. I don't think this one's going to be close. I don't. That's the only one that I don't think will be close. Everyone else is probably going to be like maybe 1 or 2 votes off. So, yeah, if you're not in a part of the No Gimmicks fan group, come join the revamped No Gimmicks Podcast fan group over on Facebook, where you can see this bracket, or you can follow us on Instagram at No Gimmicks DFPN. And this bracket is also there too. So just follow us. You get access to the bracket. I'm going to put this updated one out onto the group. Make sure you guys can get that. But yeah, thanks for everybody that's been voting, because we've gotten a plethora of votes in each round, making it a very, very active bracket. One of the most active things we've had since the original inception of the group. So thank you to everybody that's participating in this and sharing and getting people over to the group to vote and making this thing fun. So we appreciate you guys. All right, man. Final thoughts. What you got?
I got nothing. It's been a very, very interesting week. And we're on the road to WrestleMania. And I can't wait to see what they put together. All I know, like I said, Cody can win me over by turning heel. And that's all I got to say about it.
We are indeed on the road to WrestleMania, which if you guys are out in that area, in the LA area, make sure you go support all the local wrestling promotions that will probably be doing stuff around WrestleMania. So make sure you go show them some love as well. WrestleMania is a very good time for everybody to showcase everything that they have, different promotions, and just make sure you guys go out and support the talent. Also, next week, we will be having from Dog Pound Championship Wrestling out of San Antonio, the City Boys, the tag team champions, the hottest tag team in Texas, will be making an appearance here on No Gimmicks next weekend. So make sure you guys come out and hang out for that. Otherwise, I got nothing else. So hit them with your tagline, my friend.
Remember, all right, this is the gospel. All right. When you're NWO, you're NWO for life.
All right, man. Thank you for tuning in to No Gimmicks. Until next time, peace.